Hear that? That quiet shift in the atmosphere, that microscopic tremor nobody else felt. Yeah, that was the universe locking in your name, because it's over. And the crown didn't choose a king. It chose the ghost, the one they pretended didn't exist, the one they swore would never matter, the one they dismissed while staring directly into the monster you were becoming. Come closer. Let me look at you. You feel it, don't you? That strange electric stillness in your chest, the kind only people who outgrew their own mortality ever feel. The kind that comes after you walk through fire so silently, even the flames never noticed you were there. You weren't built for applause, you were built for aftermath. The world spent years acting like they couldn't see you. But ghosts, real ghosts, don't need to be seen. They just need to be felt. And oh, sweetheart, the world feels you now. Look at them, hands shaking, voices cracking, pretending nothing is happening while every instinct in their bodies is screaming your name like a prophecy they hoped would stay buried. They're trying to rationalize it, label it, pretend they predicted it. But you and I both know the truth. You were never in their equations. You were the glitch, the anomaly, the shadow that learned how to walk like a god while they were busy staring at the spotlight. They crowned you the moment they realized something terrifying. You don't want the throne, you want the silence after it collapses. That's why the crown came crawling to you. That's why destiny rerouted itself around your pulse. That's why the universe keeps folding in ways no scientist can explain without losing sleep. Because you're not a king. You're not royalty. You're not another predictable rise to power story. You're the uninvited consequence of everyone underestimating the wrong soul. Your duality incarnate, light sharper than a blade, darkness kinder than truth, an angel with a demon's timing, a psychopath with a saint's restraint, a contradiction so dangerous that no system can cage it, a paradox so potent that reality itself steps aside to avoid collision. You didn't climb to the top. You materialized there, no footsteps, no warnings, no sound, just a presence, just a shift, just that feeling behind every spine right now. Something is different, and we didn't choose it. No, they didn't. The crown did, and it didn't choose noise or beauty or charm or pedigree. It chose the one who walked through hell without leaving footprints. It chose the one who died quietly inside and rose without a pulse. It chose the one whose existence rewrote the hierarchy. Without a single announcement, it chose the ghost. You. Do you understand what that means? It means they can't fight you, they can't track you, they can't predict you, they can't even admit you terrify them. Because acknowledging you would mean acknowledging every mistake they made, ignoring you. You are the karmic receipt. The overdue prophecy, the whispered warning that finally manifested with teeth. And now, they're scrambling, trying to negotiate with a force they didn't even believe in, trying to tame a presence that never asked for a seat at the table, trying to survive the arrival of something that isn't here to be adored, but to remind them what silence can become. When pushed too far, listen closely. That quiet chill in the air. That's not fear, that's recognition. They finally see it, they finally feel it, they finally understand the nightmare they crafted with their own hands, because they didn't just overlook you, they created you. Every time they ignored you, you sharpened. Every time they doubted you, you deepened. Every time they underestimated you, you evolved. And now the crown sits heavy in your shadow, waiting for your pulse to decide the fate of everything trembling beneath it. You're not their leader, you're not their equal, you're not their replacement, you're their reckoning. The ghost who learned how to command gravity. The shadow that became sovereign. The invisible one who now makes the entire world flinch. Not because you appeared, but because you never needed to. So go on. Lift your chin. Feel that weight settling on you. That's not burden. That's coronation. And it's about damn time the world realized. The crown never chooses the king. It chooses the force it can't survive without, or escape from. And in the end, it chose you, the ghost they pretended didn't exist, until the universe bowed first before you breathe, before you blink, before you dare tell yourself this is a dream. Let me drag you deeper into the truth they're still too afraid to say out loud. You know why the crown chose you, don't you? Not because you're loud, not because you're celebrated, not because you've got armies cheering your name, no. It chose you because you carry something no king ever could. The silence of someone who survived everything. That silence, the one that lives in your ribs, the one that hums when the room gets too still. That silence is louder than every empire that tried to swallow you whole. Kings get built by ceremony. Ghosts get built by loss. Kings rise through alliances. Ghosts rise through ruins. Kings get polished. Ghosts get sharpened. You didn't ascend. You returned. And oh, how it terrifies them, because kings are predictable. Kings have human limits. Kings need people to support them, praise them, validate them. But you don't need any of that. You don't even need a body to rule, just presence, precision, and that quiet, lethal awareness they can feel breathing down the back of their necks. They hate that you don't want their world. They hate that you don't need their approval. They hate that their logic, their metrics, their who deserves what calculations crumble. When you step into the room, you are the flaw in their formula, the crack in their architecture, the consequence of their arrogance. You're the ghost that stayed alive. And nothing is more threatening than something that refuses to die when it was supposed to. Look around. Notice how their eyes linger longer now. How conversations glitch when you walk past. How the energy shifts like something ancient just woke up inside your skin. People can sense power, but they can feel inevitability. And that's what you are. Not just powerful, not just dangerous, inevitable. The kind of being who doesn't fight for thrones. They appear, and the throne throws itself at their feet out of sheer instinct, because it knows. Deep down, it knows. You weren't chosen to rule. You were chosen because the world needs someone who can stare into the void and not blink. You were chosen because you move like someone who's died before and came back with the blueprints. You were chosen because every version of you that broke turned into armor around the version that learned to endure. Tell me, aren't you tired of pretending you're normal? Aren't you tired of acting like you didn't see things others couldn't see? Didn't survive things others couldn't survive? Didn't evolve in ways others weren't built to understand? You're not a king. You're not a hero. You're not chosen by fate. You are what happens when fate gets outplayed. You are the ghost they tried to erase, but the universe remembered. You are the shadow they dismissed, but destiny bowed to. You are the quiet one, but silence itself became your weapon. And now every room you enter feels colder, sharper, hungrier. Not because you changed, but because the world finally noticed what you've been carrying all this time. That crown didn't land on your head. It materialized from the ashes in your lungs. It didn't choose you because you fit the role. It chose you because you bent the role around your existence, and the funniest part? They still think they can outrun what you've become. They still think they can ignore you, contain you, frame you, predict you, shrink you back into the version of yourself that was easy for them to misunderstand. But ghosts don't shrink. Ghosts hover. Ghosts linger. Ghosts haunt the very foundations of the people who lied about seeing them. You know what the crown whispered when it settled over your shadow? This time, the unseen one rules. Not the chosen one, not the appointed, not the celebrated, the one who slipped through every net, the one who couldn't be killed by doubt, the one who wasn't supposed to live long enough to change the story. And yet here you are, bending the ending in real time. So stand there. Stand exactly as you are. Silent, dangerous, unbothered. Let them scroll past, pretending they don't feel it. They know. They feel it. They sense it in their teeth. Because it's over. The world didn't just crown a ruler. It crowned a ghost. Its first and final warning. And the crown? It didn't choose wrong. Good. You stayed. Most people tap out when the truth starts scraping their ribs, but you lean in closer, like you're trying to hear the part the universe whispers only to the damned and the destined. So let's go deeper. Let's talk about what really happened the moment the crown drifted toward you. It wasn't admiration. It wasn't recognition. It was submission. The throne didn't bow because you earned it. It bowed because something older than time realized you were the only force left that couldn't be broken, bribed, bought, or blinded. A king can be dethroned. A ruler can be replaced. A leader can be betrayed. But a ghost? A ghost can't be touched. A ghost can't be cornered. A ghost can't be punished. A ghost is untouchable because it lives outside everything that once hurt it. And that's you now. You slipped out of the world's grip without anyone noticing. You became immune to the very things that were supposed to ruin you. Pain didn't crush you. It clarified you. Hatred didn't break you. It built you. Loss didn't empty you. It hollowed out a space where something celestial could grow. You evolved in the shadows, and evolution without witnesses becomes mythology. That's why they're terrified. That's why they're whispering. That's why they're watching you with the same nervous awe people feel before a storm breaks open the sky, because they can't track your transformation. They don't know the moment you stopped trying to survive and started learning how to haunt you became the kind of presence that makes the air feel heavier, the kind of soul that distorts the room before you speak, the kind of energy that makes even strong people feel suddenly small, not because you want power, but because you exhale inevitability. People like you don't walk into destiny. Destiny walks into you. They don't teach that part in history. They don't write about it in mythology. They don't warn about it in prophecy, because no one expects the forgotten one to be the cornerstone. No one expects the invisible one to be the climax. No one expects the ghost to be the axis the whole story spins around. But here we are, standing in the aftermath of every version of you they underestimated. You carry contradictions that would shatter normal minds. You have the softness of someone who once wanted to be loved, and the coldness of someone who knows they no longer need it. You have the mercy of a saint, and the precision of a psychopath. You have the calm of an angel who has seen heaven, and the smile of a demon who walked back from hell with souvenirs. Everything about you confuses them. Everything about you threatens them. Everything about you reminds them that evolution doesn't ask for permission. You didn't resurrect to impress them. You resurrected to replace everything they thought was true. And now the world is glitching. People are glitching. Reality is glitching. Because they're finally feeling what you became when nobody was watching. A presence, a warning, a verdict, a ghost that wasn't meant to rise. but did anyway, with a crown orbiting its shadow. So keep standing there, still, silent, unrushed. Let them panic. Let them pretend they don't see what's happening. Let them try to convince themselves you're just having a moment. But you and I know better. This isn't a moment. This is the shift. The one that rewrites bloodlines. The one that silences tyrants. The one that bends fate at the knee. The one that will be studied and feared long after everyone alive right now is dust. Everything they thought belonged to kings now answers to you. Not because you asked, but because the universe ran out of rulers and found a ghost with the audacity to outlive every cage it was thrown into. So listen closely, it's over. The story is no longer theirs. The throne is no longer theirs. The narrative is no longer theirs. The crown made its choice, and it didn't choose a king. It chose you, the ghost that won't disappear, the silence that won't die, the reckoning that learned how to walk like a sovereign. You feel that pressure building behind your heartbeat? Good. That's what happens when truth starts aligning with identity, when the version of you the world ignored finally stands up inside your chest and looks around like it owns the room. Because it does. You do. And the sickest part, they knew this was coming. They felt it long before they could name it. People sense their consequences the way animals sense earthquakes. Subtle, bone deep, undeniable. You were quiet, but the ground beneath you was shifting. You were invisible, but the air warped around your presence. You were overlooked, but destiny kept circling your orbit like a predator, trying to decide whether to bow or flee. And eventually, it bowed. Let's explore why. You didn't rise because you were chosen. You rose because everything that tried to bury you forgot one rule of the universe. Pressure doesn't destroy ghosts. It detonates them. Every crack they carved into you became an entry point for something ancient and powerful to seep in. Every betrayal rewired your instincts sharper. Every loss scraped away the softness that would have made you break. You didn't become stronger. You became necessary. And necessary beings are the most dangerous creatures alive. The crown didn't choose you because you wanted it. It chose you because you're the only one who understands what it means to rule alone, without validation, without audience, without applause. A king needs loyalty. A ghost needs nothing. A king fears rebellion. A ghost is rebellion. A king wants his power seen. A ghost wants his power felt. Tell me, when was your last true weakness? The last time something actually pierced you? The last time someone reached your core and didn't walk away bleeding? You don't even remember, do you? Because somewhere along the line, life stopped being personal and became structural. You stopped reacting and started observing. You stopped chasing and started calculating. You stopped breaking and started becoming untouchable. That's when the shift happened. That's when they stopped calling you dramatic and started calling you unpredictable. That's when they stopped mocking you and started monitoring you. That's when the crown, this ancient symbol of control, felt a disturbance in its lineage and turned toward the one presence that couldn't be manipulated, you. Not the loudest, not the brightest, not the strongest, the inevitable one, the one who survived the kind of pain that rewrites DNA, the one who walked through the kind of darkness most people don't come back from, the one who learned to stand so still, the world forgot you were breathing, until you exhaled and everything shook. Look at them now. Look at how they move around you, careful, hesitant, pretending not to stare, while their instincts scream warnings into their spine. They don't fear what you are, they fear what you know. Because ghosts don't just haunt places, They haunt patterns. They haunt memories. They haunt lies. You carry every version of yourself like a hidden army. The you that was ignored, the you that was underestimated, the you that was broken, the you that was erased, the you that kept going anyway. All of them are fused behind your eyes now, watching the world like judges from another realm. That's why you walk the way you do. That's why you speak the way you do. That's why everything you touch feels heavier, more intentional, more final. You're not here to impress. You're here to replace. You're the aftermath they never predicted. The storm that forms without a forecast. The shadow that doesn't belong to anything. Mortal kings get remembered. Ghosts get feared. Kings rule people. Ghosts rule timelines. And this timeline, this era, this chapter that everyone thought belonged to someone else, it's bending right now, around your presence, around your pulse, around your choices, whether you speak or stay silent, whether you rise or remain still, whether you move or stand frozen in the middle of the battlefield. The world adjusts to you, not the other way around, because it's over. The role you were supposed to play, burned. The script they wrote for you, shredded. The identity they tried to force on you, dead. And in its place stands something they can't control, can't label, can't diminish a ghost, wearing a crown that no longer belongs to kings. Now keep breathing, keep standing. Let the world tremble a little more. We're not done yet. A hush rolls through the room as if the air itself steps back from you. And then you hear it. Interesting. You finally said it. That's the greeting. Darling, not a welcome. A diagnosis. Because what you did, that wasn't bravery. That wasn't rebellion. That wasn't even vengeance. That was detonation. You whispered the one line they begged you to bury. The line they prayed you'd never reach, never uncover, never even think. And the moment it slipped off your tongue, every stomach on the timeline dropped like a trap door opening beneath their illusions. You want to know why? Because truth feels like murder when it's pointed at the people who depend on lies. To breathe, you didn't raise your voice. You didn't threaten. You didn't scream. You simply spoke. And in that single second, you erased years of their delusions, their narratives, their precious self-image, stitched together with borrowed dignity and borrowed lies, and you did it without flinching. Look at you. Do you feel it? That cold shift inside your ribcage, that eerie electric stillness that comes when a person crosses a line they'll never be able to step back over. That's evolution. The irreversible kind, the kind saints fear, and psychopaths respect. Because there is a moment in every monster's origin story, that quiet, sharp inhale, where they stop pretending they're harmless tonight. That breath was yours. They didn't panic because you were wrong. They panicked because you were exact. You hit the one pressure point in their reality they didn't reinforce. You cracked the one bone in their ego they thought was titanium. You opened the one vault door they built their entire identity to protect. And you did it by accident, or maybe by instinct. Ah, that's the part that terrifies them most. You didn't even try. You spoke like someone who's been holding worlds inside their mouth for years, someone who learned long ago that silence isn't peace. It's suppression. Someone who understood that holding back your truth doesn't make you kind. It makes you complicit. And tonight, you stopped playing accomplice. Every timeline, every group chat, every silent lurker felt a cold wave run through their spine when you dropped that line. You didn't just hit a nerve, you hit the bloodline. You peeled back their skin and showed them the mechanism underneath. The gears of manipulation, the architecture of hypocrisy, the lies they welded together and called morality. You exposed the duality they pretend doesn't exist, the light they weaponize, the darkness they hide in, the angel they cosplay, the demon they deny. And you did it all with a sentence, a single sentence, a sentence powerful enough to flip the archetype they cast you in. You were supposed to be the harmless one, the quiet one, the agreeable one, the one who swallows truths to keep everyone else comfortable. But tonight, you became the mirror. And mirrors don't lie. They reveal. That's why the timeline froze. That's why hearts dropped. That's why their throats tightened like they swallowed ice. Because you didn't attack them. You reflected them. And people would rather burn the mirror than face their own reflection. You know what's really sick? They'll act offended. They'll call you dramatic. They'll call you crazy. They'll call you out of line. But deep down, in that dark little corner of their conscience, they hope nobody can see. They are grateful you said it. Because it means they don't have to. You carried the weight they couldn't lift. You cracked the seal they were too timid to touch. You did the emotional demolition they needed, but would never dare initiate. That's why they're shaking. That's why they're silent. That's why they're watching you now like a storm forming on a radar. They know what this means. A person who finally tells the truth, the real truth, becomes unpredictable. And unpredictable is power. Unpredictable is dangerous. Unpredictable is free. You crossed the threshold. You evolved past permission, past approval, past their comfort zones, past their carefully rehearsed fantasies about who you should be. You are not their puppet anymore. You are not their echo. You are not their safe, sanitized version of yourself. You are the version that speaks, the version that sees, the version that slices through pretense like a scalpel through silk. And now they have to deal with you, the real you, the one they can't predict, can't guilt, can't mold, can't mute. So tell me, how does it feel? How does it feel to finally let the truth bleed out instead of choking on it? How does it feel to watch their expressions fracture when they realize you're not the character they wrote? You're the writer they underestimated. How does it feel to know the timeline will never see you the same way again? Because once a person drops a sentence like that, they never go back. They never shrink again. They never play small again. Welcome to your next phase. The one where your voice is a weapon. The one where your silence is a warning. The one where your truth rearranges entire rooms the moment you speak. You didn't just say a line tonight. You activated something, and now everyone else is praying you never speak like that again. But you and I both know. You will that line you dropped. It didn't fade, it stuck. It's still clinging to their skin, crawling under their ribs, replaying behind their eyelids like a glitching prophecy they can't unsee. You severed something in them, some illusion, some fantasy, some scaffolding they built to survive themselves. And now, they're scrambling. You know what it reminds me of? When a surgeon finds something unexpected during an operation, a truth that changes the whole trajectory. Except in this case, you were the scalpel. Your sentence was the incision. And the moment it opened, you exposed the rot they've been pretending wasn't there. Oh, the irony. They spent years avoiding your honesty. They built entire religions around your silence. They worshipped the version of you who bit your tongue. But the moment you let the truth slip, the moment you decided their comfort was no longer your prison, every one of their temples collapsed like sand sculptures in a rising tide, because you didn't say something mean. You said something real, and real is the deadliest weapon on earth. Do you understand the magnitude of what you unleashed? Your line wasn't just a sentence, it was a seismic event. A psychological earthquake that cracked open the ground beneath everyone who ever bet on your compliance. You shook reality frames. You rattled their defense mechanisms. You ruptured the myth they built around your silence. You know why their stomachs dropped? Because people can handle a villain. People can handle a saint. But they cannot handle someone who shifts between both without blinking. You became the paradox. You became the angel with the executioner's hands, the saint with the serpent's patience, the quiet one with the nuclear core. And nothing terrifies them more than duality wrapped in a calm voice. Because that's when they realize you're not reactive, you're strategic, you're not emotional, you're aware, you're not breaking, you're calculating, and your calculation tonight was perfect. You ever seen guilt in motion? It's beautiful. The way it contracts, the way it twitches, the way it hides behind forced smiles and passive-aggressive silence. That's what played across their faces when you spoke. You cracked their facade like thin ice over deep water. You forced them to confront themselves, and nobody survives their own reflection without bruises. But here's the part that really chills me. You weren't even angry. You didn't tremble. You didn't rush. You didn't raise your voice. You delivered truth with the stillness of someone who has already outgrown chaos. A person like that is untouchable. Because the loud ones, the reactive ones, they're predictable. But someone who can drop a verbal guillotine with the calm of a surgeon, someone who can speak devastation with a steady heartbeat, that's the one the world fears. And now, the world fears you. Look at how they behave. Look at how they shift. Look at